Hello, it's Sunday night. It's 9 p.m. It must be time for another ESC Fan TV review of Melfest. Yes, it was semi-final 2 last night, and I've got panelists from all over Europe ready to give their views and opinions. We'll be saying hello to them in a minute, but in the meantime, let's do some of the admin, guys. First of all, click the like and subscribe button. And second of all, don't forget, as always, we've got a vote going on. Who do you think should have actually qualified? Go to menti.com. 18, 38, 29, 2. Yes, I've double and triple checked those digits from yesterday. And we'd love to hear your views and opinions in the chat, because in the chat with you this evening, we've got the lovely Elliot. Hey, Elliot.
Hello, how are we all doing? Yes, I'm in the chat room, so keep your comments coming and we'll put them on the screen. And any questions for the panel, let us know and we will ask them as the show goes along. Until then, let's have a good one.
Hey, also joining us from Sweden, we've got Jeanette.
Hi, everyone. How are you doing?
Hey, and also from Sweden as well, it's Gustav.
Hello, everyone. And I'm from Stockholm, so I am from the better part of Sweden.
No. I am.
Yes.
Fighting talk. We've also got the lovely Steve. Hey, Steve.
Hi, I hope it's a good show today and you're all going to enjoy it.
Hey, we've got Alina from Belgium.
Hey.
Whoop, whoop.
And also joining us from Germany, it's our Cypriot. It's Oben.
Good evening, everyone. Not a local for Sweden night. I'm from down south, and obviously tonight I'm also down below Steve and Elliot, which will be enjoying the view tonight.
Brilliant. Now, guys, we look forward to hearing your opinions very shortly. But do you know what? Whilst I've got people's attention, first thing, let's just talk a little bit about what's currently going on in ESC Fan TV world. If you've been following our MGP shows, you'll know that Stuart is actually raising money for World Cancer Research. And just to give you a clue, a sneak preview, shall we say, of what he's doing, take a look at this.
Hi guys, welcome to the Stuart Wilder's Hero Winter Shower Challenge. I'm doing this to raise money for World Cancer Research Fund. Over this last year, during the pandemic, many people have not been diagnosed with cancer because they've not been willing to go to hospital or be referred by their GP. I'm doing this to speed up the identification of cancers and hopefully eradicate cancer in time. So please join me. Any donation, big or small, very welcome. This is for you.
Hey, it's all in a good cause, and I've seen the video. Okay, I have seen the video. It is not to be missed. Get your donations in as well. Now, let's actually talk about all things Melfest. We're going to do this in the normal order. So we're going to talk about the ones that didn't actually make it over the finish line last night. Then we'll talk about the ones that went through to andra, chanson, ding dong. And then we're also going to talk about the ones that went direct to final as well. So we're going to start off. We're going to go straight to Gustav, because I know Gustav was a fan of the shell suits last night. And let's talk about Wal and Sami.
Oh, yeah, when we first heard the snippets, this was my favorite song. And I was shocked because it's a bit of a rap. It's not a ballad. It's nothing that I should like. But I was so happy after listening to that snippet, and I was like dancing around. And after that, I was like, yeah, this is my winner. And then it didn't go anywhere. So I'm like, maybe I should move from Sweden, because apparently Sweden have lost all taste. All my favorites last week, this week, all eliminated. And I'm like, what are you doing? Yeah.
Oh, do you know what? If it's any consolation, Gustav, I would have loved to have seen them qualify. I would have loved to have seen them got an andra, chanson place or a direct final place last night. So I stand in solidarity in England. It's probably not a help if the Swedes are all voting for it. Alina wants them to come to Belgium, though. I'm sensing good vibes from you about this song.
I mean, yeah, it was a party. like after watching that, I'm with the song in my head from My Life is a Party. No, 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 no. Like because of that song, I'm like, yeah, woohoo!
Amazing. And Jeanette, was this song a bit like the 80s coming back? It seemed to be very, very late 80s vibe. What did you think?
It was a fun song. I have to agree with it, but I thought they would make andra chanson actually, because it was in Swedish, a bit of rap, funny, go nuts, have some wine, like I did, and then it got better. So I was a bit disappointed too. Andra chanson they did deserve.
Hey. Now, we're going to sweep through these 3 non-qualifiers quite quickly. Let's talk about Julia, Rich. Sadly, this was the one that I do believe, if my sources are correct, picked up the wooden spoon last night. Oban, what did you think of this song?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. So I think that was the sign from above that I shouldn't be talking about this song, because this song was my dead last. I mean, Rich. I mean, I didn't enjoy it. It was a torture, 3 minutes torture, and I mean, like this song would do like well in Moldova or San Marino national final. Definitely, I see that this is winning in Slovenia or something like that. But I am disappointed. Sweden thought it was a good idea, like they didn't have enough, submissions. I mean, what are you trying to distract me? Like I can't even focus anymore. I cannot even be this nicer now. The dress, the staging, the background. Everything was a disaster. What were they thinking? I'm not sure.
I was just reminding you of the fantastic outfit, Oban. No. Look at that. A deeper shade of green. Steve, come on. You must have some love for this song.
There's definitely a green thing going on in semi-final 2, wasn't there? Because that was a fairly common colour that cropped up from time to time. But it's just an ordinary song, I think. I don't think there was anything particularly horrendous about it, but nothing particularly to lift it either. It was just a bit of a filler. And they'd say that place number 2 is the worst. It was on place number 2, wasn't it? They say that's the worst draw to get in the Eurovision finals. It does make you wonder whether this was just one that kind of just got there by the skin of its teeth or whatever. Well, it was all right, but
Steve, yeah. You say that, but it was a wild card. Gustav, tell us about this song. How did it make it into Melfest?
Yeah, so every year we have this radio contest in Sweden, and Christer Björkman company gets the shows one of the artists in the final of that contest and give them a place in Melodifestivalen, and that's what happened to Julia Alfrida. And they never go anywhere. They are always like 7th or 6th place.
Oh, and do you know what? It's a shame because I actually really liked it. I mean, for all we can say that she was a deeper shade of green, in actual fact, I thought, the staging, the backing, I thought was there. Although I would say the song potentially was a little bit on the repetitive side, potentially. Elliot, what did you make of this?
I actually really liked this song. So I like Julia. I liked her song Dark Doom when she got announced as the wild card. I thought it was quite interesting. She's quite a unique artist. This was very Lorde-esque, I heard people saying, but Lorde hasn't had a single in about 3 years, so it's not exactly copying. It was dark. And I understand the critique saying it was a bit monotonous and repetitive, but it's been in my head, and it's the song I've listened to the most out of the 5 that didn't go direct today. And I really liked the melody of it, and I liked the way she performed it. But yeah, unknown, P4 wildcard, tough semi-final, song 2, everything was stacked against her, and it's getting to the point, I remember saying this last year, that it's starting to feel a little cruel about giving these artists a wildcard when they effectively know they're not going to go anywhere. In the time I've watched Melodifestivalen, one actor's got 5th, and that was Smilo, and that's it. So it just seems like a filler spot now, and I don't think the artists should be treated like, because they're all quite young artists, and a lot of them have potential, like Julia does, but it was just not in her favour at all last night. Bring her back with a different song, give her a year to get herself known to the public, and I think she can smash it though.
Hey, you know what? I would love. She is someone I'd love to see back in Melfest. I thought she did a really good job. Now, 5th place last night went to someone who you may remember, because Patrik Jean wrote or co-wrote the Mama's song "Move" last year. We can see some pictures of him coming up from his performance there. Let's go to Jeanette on this one. What did you make of Patrik Jean's song "Tears Run Dry"?
It was not super good, but it wasn't bad either. And I was actually hoping he would make a second chance. That's what, not finale, but second chance. Didn't like the staging that much. I didn't like the dances around him. It could have been done much better. And the falsetto was kind of off, in my opinion. So, no.
Now I know.
I'm divided about it. But he's cute, and I think he's gonna come back next year and probably go through, and people will know him.
Yeah, I think he's someone to watch for the future, isn't he? Now, obviously, we do know someone here who loves a ballad. We're going to go to Gustav. This was the ballad, or one of the ballads of the night. Gustav, "Tears Run Dry." He had the mood lighting. He had the dancers. Did he have your vote?
I have no idea what Jeanette is talking about, because everything that came out of her mouth was wrong. This was the best song of the night. I love this song and the performance and the dancers. And I might have a tiny crush on Patrik.
Is this tiny as in tiny, or tiny as in like?
This was perfection. I even phone voted for this one.
Wow,
So I was crushed when it didn't go through.
You've impressed Alina, but I've got a feeling that Alina would probably fight you for him as well.
Well, he's
Alina,
so she can stay back.
Oh, there we go. Alina, what did you make of Patrik Jean?
So with Gustav on this one, like I liked it. For once, I liked dancers on stage. Like, okay, it was not Anna Bergendahl with the dancers, like in the Scottish. So, but I like the dancers. That never happens. Never. I always want to skip them. Like, put them away. But yeah, I like the song. I like the performance. I like the way they use the stage. I liked everything. He should go to the final, but he wasn't in a difficult round. So yeah, I understand he didn't go through, but he should have been in the final.
Okay. Do you know what? I'm going to ask a genuine question. I'm going to pose this to Oben first, and we'll see what the rest of the panel think. So there came a point, didn't there, where you had Anton on one side and Patrik Jean on the other, and one of them was going to get it and the other one wasn't. Oben, did you actually think it was going to be Patrik at any point at that point?
Can you hear me? Like
we can hear you.
Okay, I think my camera is gone now. But I mean, between Patrik and Anton, the question is, I'm not sure. I mean, Anton had those killer eyes, and Patrik had the charm, and everything was going for him. And Anton had the moves, but Patrik had the sensation. Like, they could both give me orgasms on different levels. So, so why do I need to choose one of the two that I cannot go for both at the same time and all the time and every time and any time? And yeah.
And do you know what? I'm gonna throw the same question to Steve. Did you, when it came down to those two at the end, knowing that one was gonna essentially go nowhere and one was going to go through to the final. Did we actually think Patrik was going to steal it from Anton?
No, I didn't. And I'm going to agree with Jeanette. His falsetto was way off, and it was screeching away for a lot of the song. If you compare that to when Kim won a semi-final in Norway, a very different sort of song, but he was on point throughout. So I actually quite liked this when I heard the 1 minute snippet, but it just fell away for me throughout the final. I just felt it. He started on the wrong level with the falsetto, and it continued throughout the song. So unfortunately, I was not surprised that it didn't make it through to the andra, chanson or the final.
Were we listening to the same performance?
Yeah.
Clearly
Yes.
not, Gustav.
It wasn't a contest, Gustav. Anton blew him out the water. It wasn't a contest. The song went nowhere. Sorry.
But-
Jeanette and I
but
were listening
Anton was a basic
with our
bitch.
ears.
And Patrik had Freddie Doily sleeves. Moving on.
I know. They've
Well,
never
I tell
been in.
I tell you what, guys, let's try and settle this like reasonable people. Obviously, we've heard about the 3 songs that didn't make it through last night. Elliot, what's the chat room saying about these 3 songs?
The chat room is in a lot of discussion. A lot of them actually liked Sami and Wal. I'm going to butcher that name, so I'm not going to bother. There's a lot of love for that. A lot of Ian's made a good point about Patrik saying they thought the lighting was beautiful for the song. Clearly, a lighting designer knows how to light dance, and yeah, there seems to be a lot of like the same. Like this, the song was nice, but the semi-final was tough. I think that's the general consensus of these 3 songs because there's a lot of love for all 3 of them, but also a lot of people are saying about Patrik's song. If I can find it here from Little John, isn't this sort of Swedish production becoming cliched now in its music production? So. Maybe that's where he fell short.
There we go. Now, guys, let's move on. Andra chanson. 2 songs. We have Frida and Silence, and we have Eva and Eva and Rama Rama Ding Dong. We're going to go for the first one, The Vision in Green. Look at this. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous green dress from Frida. Beautiful backgrounds there to complement it as well. And even a backing singer with a pretty cool haircut as well, I'm going to say. Do you know what? I'm going to go back to Gustav on this because I know Gustav does love the ballads. Frida, Silence. Deserved andra chanson?
I don't know. I didn't love this song as much as I hoped I would. When I saw the lineup, I was like, yeah, I'm going to love that song. It's written by Anna Bergendahl. It's a done deal because everyone knows how much I love Anna Bergendahl. But then I heard the song and I was like, it's okay. And then it built and it got better. But it was always just okay, you know. It wasn't anything special, and I probably won't listen to it as much as I hoped I would. And I think that her clothes and her hair and stuff like that didn't really match the song. So I was a bit disappointed. I think other artists deserve that second chance spot more than she did, sadly.
Okay, interesting. Steve, let's come to you on this one. Obviously, you know, that very green, I think we can say very green throughout that. I mean, does she need to potentially think about her staging, or do you think, to be honest, it's, you know, all good?
I think she does need to think a little bit about her stage. She's got a lovely voice, and I thought the song built well, perhaps a little bit old-fashioned, but I thought it was a nice song. I thought it deserved to go through to the second chance round. But I think the lack of experience, I would imagine she hasn't got much experience, kind of comes across. And I think perhaps a little more charisma, you know, rather than just bending down for the really high notes. And boy, did she hit those well. She just needs to look at her kind of persona and her staging a little bit, I think. But great voice, great pipes.
Hey, and Oban, could you really tell the Anna Bergendahl vibes coming out of this song, obviously co-written by her?
Not really. Come on. Anna Bergendahl is the sweetheart of Eurovision Nation, and nothing compares to her, especially The Kingdom Comes. And but I love the green. It's emerald. It was an elegant green. It's an expensive green. It was. I like the staging. It's just it wasn't her night. I think she didn't connect the way that the others did. I wouldn't qualify her even to my andra chanson, but it's not like she did something less. Or do I think is there anything she could do more? No, but it wasn't her night. It wasn't her moment. It's not her time yet for me.
Okay, and Alina, just wrap this one up for us before we move on.
For me, the green, totally her color. The dress, nah. Performance, nah. So yeah, it was like it was Eurovision, but it was not like, oh, I'm crazy about the song. This is the song I remember after hearing 40 other songs. Like, if this was in Eurovision, you forgot about it instantly.
Oh, see, I got Chiara vibes at one point with the dress and the background, and even the voice. I thought it was a beautiful song, but I have to admit there did seem to be an X factor just missing, I think, from it. But I wish her all the best in Andra chanson, because I think it's going to be it's a worthy entrant into it, and it will make for a very interesting duel, I'm sure, whoever she's up against in a few weeks' time. Now, perhaps the surprise package of the night, I don't know, was Eva and Eva, Rama Rama Ding Dong. Oh my God, so many times in Melfest, we see these, and I'm sorry, women of a certain age wheeled out with these songs that, quite frankly, are, you know, a bit dull, a bit dreary, almost like they're, you know, besmirching their experience, shall we say. Last night, however, and I'm getting my opinion in on this, panelists, from the start, we had something that was just a pure drop of joy throughout that. Two women having an absolute ball on stage with some dance moves I'd love to recreate at some point in time, bouncing around, having the absolute time of their lives. And to top it all, even they looked slightly surprised when they actually had their names called out that they'd got through to Andra chanson. Jeanette, let's talk. Rama Rama Ding Dong.
Really, should we? We should talk about this, seriously. Well, I can't. How could they get 2 second chance? They stole somebody else's spot. That's all I'm saying. It was Rama Rama Ding Dong. But I had a feeling they would go through because it was total insanity on stage. And those dance moves, I was ashamed. I didn't like it at all. But, you know, Eva and Eva, they're quite famous, and they're like almost 80 years old. 70, 80, yeah, I don't know. But
they're 71 and 76, I believe.
So that's almost 80 then. Well, it was fun to have them with us, but for me it would be, okay, thank you for joining us, and bye-bye.
Oh, I think can we at least agree on the fact they played their card well? I think they did make the most, didn't they, of what they had. And now
they had fun, and you could see it. So
exactly. Now I know, Jeanette, that there is at least one person apart from me on here that absolutely loved it and would love to see this one sweep through Andra chanson and then sweep through the Melfest final and take the crown home. And I'm going to go to Oban.
Thank you, Tom. Like, I was like, I should go after Jeanette right now because, like, I feel offended. Every single word came out of her lovely, cute little mouth. But they didn't stole anyone else's spot. They stole the effing show. They didn't embarrass the nation. Sweden should be proud. I was proud of Sweden once in forever. They didn't go for the safe choice that would steal the votes and be the winner of juries and get the last fifth from the bottom or from the televote. I think this is the year. This is the year Sweden takes a break from being this nerd in the class and always like competing, always getting the highest mark in the class, and just enjoy the fucking live for once. Sorry for swearing on live, not TV, but YouTube. But I love everything about. Look, they were joyful. They were teaching those kids, other kids on that stage that night, what does music means? It's just having fun, being there, being present, being moment, and they should win it. They should win the fucking whole Eurovision season, not just Melfest, but the whole Eurovision season. Thank you very much. Good night.
I think that was a very, very. I couldn't have done more impassioned. You know, even if I tried. I mean, let's remind ourselves of some of the performance there. You know, totally wacky and bizarre. It's brilliant. And I almost can't help but think this last one, we have a visual representation of perhaps Oban on the left and maybe Jeanette on the right in terms of opinions there. It is the meme. It is the meme of the evening, I believe. Gustav, come on, there must be some people in Sweden that thought this song was worthy of andra chanson.
Yes, it's bloody brilliant. I love this. It was so much fun. And I smiled through the whole performance. Yeah, it was just brilliant. And I was so happy for them.
Hey. Oh, right. Let's actually think about this. I'm just gonna sweep around the panel on this as well. Steve, rama ding dong.
I love it. I thought it was great, and it's like your two favourite grandmothers getting up and doing karaoke. You know, the grandmother of the bride, the grandmother of the bridegroom, and just killing it at the wedding reception, and everybody would talk about it for days. I thought it was brilliantly staged, and actually, one of them, the older one, is really quite fit. You know, the way she kind of got her leg up. I doubt whether I could do that at that age. So I thought it was brilliant. Really good fun. It's not going to get anywhere, let's face it, but I think it was a good addition to the
I mean, Steve, I am less than half her age, and I can get that leg that high even in bed anymore. Like, respect to her.
I'm looking at Alina's facial reactions there. Alina, I'm assuming that your leg doesn't exactly go that high either.
I'm like just one piece of wood. Like, I'm
so many of the guys too.
Oh.
Yeah. But can I just say,
Go on.
this was in Dutch, my workplace, you know, I work in a home, would love the song and the dancing and think all my elderly where I work with, they would have the best time of their life just dancing and singing to this one. We need this in Dutch.
There we go. Do we foresee? I'm gonna pose the question to you, Alina. Do we foresee a situation in andra chanson if this is up against the right song, or shall we say the wrong song, in andra chanson, where this could actually win its duel?
I don't know. Like, Melodifestivalen just begun, so I don't know which songs there will be in andra chanson. Like, if it was, let's just say, Eric said is going to the final and he's gonna do great. But worst case scenario, it would be against Eric said. Worst case scenario, like, no.
I can totally understand that, but let's say, for example, they went up against our dad band from last week, the rock heavy metal Pretender angry song.
It can go either way. No one knows.
Exactly. I can see this going through to the final. I can depend if they want it to, if they duel it with the right song, and I think it will depend whether they want it to go through or not. And I'm convinced that's the case when it comes to the duels.
Can I say a point on that?
Go on.
Can we remember last year how Frida very nearly knocked out Felix Sandman because they split the vote 4 and 4, and it was split at an age point, and they had to go on who got the most votes rather than which age group did they win the most in. So it's possible that these two can make the final, and I want them in the final because this was bloody brilliant. I had the time of my life. The gingerhead woman reminded me of Kathy Griffin from start to finish, and I loved it. And yeah, I mean, it was brilliant. It was so much fun, and I don't think they're going to win. Let's be real. I would howl if they did, and that went to Eurovision. But yeah, Sweden are too polished, and they're too jury friendly to send this. Let's be real. But have them in the final and close the final would be brilliant.
Now, Elliot, what are the chat rooms saying about this? Obviously, we've had Frida, we've had Rama Ding Dong. What are they saying about these two songs?
Well, let's start with Rama Ding Dong because it's closest for me to get to. And Joe is saying, how brilliant were they? I completely agree. Neil is saying they were great fun and did love the fact they were most surprised that they made Anton Hansen, you and me both. David said it's better than Ya Ya Ding Dong. I don't know if this was like a parody on that song, but here for it if so. And then Ian saying they were brilliant. They were clearly living their best life. And I say wholeheartedly agree. As for Frida, let me just scroll back up. I'm feeling for time. David saying it's a well-deserved qualifier. Saying it was special. It was okay, but nothing special. Performance, yes. Song, no. There seems to be a lot about that the song or something was just missing to make it really stand out. So I think there's a lot more love for Rama Ding Dong than the silence out of these two songs. So it's probably a good thing they're not going against each other because then we know which one would win.
Hey, now don't forget, guys, if you think these songs should have done better last night or even worse, go and take part in the vote. Menti.com 18 38 29 2, and we'd love to get your votes in. And also keep the conversation going in the chat room. We've got 2 songs left to look at, and the first one we're going to look at is the one artist that came the closest to beating the Mamas last year. Yes, Dotter is back. She has a little tot in tow. There we can see her strutting her stuff on stage. She was the first act announced last night to go through to the final. Let's go straight to Steve. Dotter, what do you think?
Well, I'm definitely a friend of Dotter. I like this one. I think it probably won the show easily, probably because she's well known in Sweden. But I think this is a good song. I really like it. I know people are really split about this, but I thought the staging looked good. I'm not sure it's the one to win, but it's the one, in having heard half the songs so far, I think it's the one that does stand out somewhat from the rest. But it remains, we've still got some big names to come yet, but I really liked it. Whether I like it as much as her song last year, I'm not sure about at the moment, but I need to hear it a bit more. But I thought it was really good.
There's a good question, and we'll go to Alina first on this one. Is this better or worse than Bulletproof last year?
For me, it's worse. I liked Bulletproof a lot more. But the thing I liked a lot about this song was actually that the dancers were face mask, and it looked so good with the costume. I was like, this is what we need in Eurovision. If Eurovision goes through, we need dancers color correcting with the outfits and like the whole thing. That was so good.
It's okay. I've just seen Donna's comment flash up on the chat room. A comment more about Dotter's diction, I think. Well, I got confused as I thought she was singing Little Tart. Oh dear. Let's go to Gustav on this. Dotter, now you weren't her greatest fan last year. Obviously, hashtag Team Anna Buddy. But are you Team Dotter this year?
Yes, this is so much better than Bulletproof. So much better. And I really like the song. It's actually really good. And I loved the staging and how confident she seemed on that stage. It was just 3 minutes of a perfect performance. It was really, really good.
Okay, now I like it when I go from, Gustav to say Elliot, just to get the opposing viewpoint, because we do know that you two do have some opposing tastes in music. Elliot, the stage is yours.
Right. Everyone knows in this program how much I love Dotter as an artist. I said that before, and this is better than Bulletproof. But as I said off air, that is a low bar to clear. I still don't think this is good enough. I think it's closer to Backfire, which is a brilliant song of hers. But I still am not a big fan of this. And given the hype she was that she came back, there's a massive disconnect for me. I felt, yes, she was confident, but at times it felt forced and like there was a barrier. The message of the song doesn't really match with what she's wearing either for me. The dances were brilliant, but also the first time it was very dark. You couldn't really see her properly the first time. And for me, I cannot get the melody of Rockabye by Clean Bandit out of my head when I hear this, and the message of the song when she's talking about someone younger and don't end up like I did. It's very similar for me. And I just think it could be a lot better, and Dotter is a lot better than this. I think she has come back because I don't know, because she said last year quite openly she didn't want to go to Eurovision. So why she's come back, I'm not entirely sure.
Would it be a COVID pandemic that has decimated the music industry?
That's probably why we're seeing the likes of, Jessica Anderson, Danny Salcedo, who's normally touring this time of the year, and Dotter coming back because they've had a year of doing nothing. But as for the song and for Dotter, I wasn't wowed like I wanted to be. And this could win. I'm not ruling it out at all. I would just be disappointed if this is the song she represented Sweden with, because she can do a lot better for me.
Okay. Oben, I'm going to come straight to you.
I cannot believe what's happening tonight. Like, how am I ending on the same side of the spectrum with Elliot rather than Gustav? Like, I just signed my name, my life, my whatever I have, I own in this world under every single word that Elliot just said. Like, this was absolutely disappointment. Like, she really thought that whatever she thought, or her fans thought, or the music industry professionals or the Eurovision fans thought that she was robbed last year. So if she comes back, she didn't even, she take it all granted, like whatever happened last year, and the support came afterwards, and she didn't put effort. The staging was lazy. Think of how simple was her costume last year, yet so effective, so original, so well thought out with the lighting, and it was interesting. But this year it was just lazy. Such a safe choice. I don't think she put the effort that she did last year, and I'm disappointed that I wouldn't send her, my opinion, my words, I wouldn't send her to andra, chanson either.
Well, it's a controversial one. We're going to go to Jeanette for some positivity in a moment. I'm going to say, and I'm going to get this out so we actually finish on a positive note, that my personal view, and as much as I liked Bulletproof last year, I thought her diction was awful, the backing track was too loud, and the staging was appalling. That's my personal view. Shoot me down for it. And I thought she shouldn't have actually got directly through to the final. I would have much preferred any one of the songs that got andra chanson to get the ticket, preferably Rama Rama Ding Dong. Not going to lie on that one, but in actual fact, I think potentially, did she even rob some of the non-qualifiers of a place? There we go. Jeanette, come to you for some positivity on this one.
Yes, I loved it. Well done, Dotta. I'm really, really happy she smashed it. Loved everything about it. I loved the clothes she was wearing, the staging, the dancers, the masks, everything. And I think it's a brilliant song, which I think she wrote it with her boyfriend or something. Good teamwork. But I have to say, I liked Bulletproof better. But it's a totally different song. But this is gonna go top 3 in the final, I think. But as we all said, there's gonna be a lot of good songs to come in the Eric Sade, just saying, that just slipped out.
Just throwing it into conversation. I know what you mean.
Yeah, so I'm just like waiting for someone to be better, but I'm happy she went through. It's brilliant. Loved everything.
Hey. And do you know what? I wish her all the best for the final, because you know what? It's a competition. The variety of opinions is what makes this show what it is. It would be really boring if we all thought the same thing, wouldn't it? And especially when we're about to move on to Anton. Lovely Anton. Mini Eric Sada, I think, personally. He had the dance moves. He had the slick moves. It was all really, you know, a very polished performance. And he looked so cute at the end when he couldn't actually perform because he'd forgotten the lyrics. Gustav, what do you think?
Oh God, should I start? Well, it was boring. It was done before. It was boring. It was done before. He didn't even sing most of the song himself. It was boring. It was done before. Nee.
And you have a kindred spirit in Stuart, but the thing is, I have a kindred spirit in Elliot. Hey!
Yeah, because this was the best of the night. This was fantastic. Anton's been away for 7 years. And Gustav, you can thrash your arms all you're on. You know I'm right, because your favourites get knocked out, so Sweden clearly don't agree with you. They agree with me. Anyway, he, like I said, he's been away for 7 years. He's a trained dancer, so we knew the dancing was going to be on point. But his voice has really improved, because his voice was always what let him down in the final, in his last 2 entries. But his voice was good. The melody is current. It gets in your head. The lighting was really cool with it. I liked the strobe effects and whatnot. The only thing I didn't like was the gold on the jacket, because there wasn't any gold in the lighting. It seemed a weird choice, but I really do think this was good and it had real star quality. And given how Sweden like to vote, especially in the final, oh, shut up, Stuart. Shush. You thought Armenia was winning last year. That's all I'm going to say. I think this has the potential to surprise and potentially win Melodifestivalen. I wouldn't be shocked if the juries love this. And then the public do as well, because, as you said, like when he got upset and emotional, that's endearing and charming. And the music and him is just pleasing to every single age group. And that's what we've got to remember. It's not who gets the most votes wins. You've got to appeal to every demographic now. And I think he does.
Steve, do you think people, let's play devil's advocate with this, because obviously me and Elliot are big fans of this. Do you think Anton having his emotional moment on stage, given the fact you could still very clearly hear the song and things like that, so clearly he's not doing a bulk of the singing, is that going to be held against him in the final?
It can go both ways, because everybody loves somebody who's a bit emotional, and that might kind of connect with a lot of the audience he wouldn't usually connect with. But I think it might go the other way, in that it will prove that he actually wasn't a major voice in the singing part. He's a good dancer, I would say, and I think this was the right two did go through, but I suspect this won't actually get very far in the final, because everybody now knows that he's actually not singing very much of it, and I'm afraid that'll probably play against him at the end of the day. But I do think he's a really good dancer.
Okay, Jeanette, let's bring you in on this discussion, because I know you have found a new religion of Anton.
Yes, Anton is my new religion. Yes. No, he's always been cute. We all know that. And you know, he was so emotional, so even I started crying because yeah, it was go straight to my old lady's heart. And his mom actually made his jacket. How cute is that?
Oh,
Maybe that good looking, but he even thanked his mom for doing it for him. And yeah, mental breakdown. Yes, he did have that, but I still think it's cute. It's not a bad song at all. He can dance. He looks awesome. And he has to just improve on his vocals a bit. That's what I'm saying. But it was good. Top 5 in the final.
top 5.
I guess.
Oben, do you see this getting top 5 in the final?
I'm not anymore surprised that I'm on the same side with Elliot, but I'm surprised that I'm same side with Jeanette tonight. I was just looking at the last decade Swedish representative. Cute boys, good, slick performers, and a little bit above average voices. Erik Saade, 3rd place. Mans Zelmerlöw, the winner. France, the 5th place. Robin Bengtsson, 5th place. Benjamin Ingrosso, 7th place. John Ludwig, 5th place. 7 out of the last 10 entrants is for Sweden is this genre, this type of performance, this type of artist. And I am happy that he got through the final because he does deserve a second chance to reclaim himself. And I think that was not a lucky night for him, but I really hope that he could do this again and he would have at least that one video that he would be very proud of on YouTube. And I wouldn't rule out the option that I don't think he lost this yet. I don't think he really can get the ticket to represent Sweden in Rotterdam this year because this is what Sweden does the best.
Interesting. Right. Alina, you can wrap this one up for us. Anton. Lovely, Anton. Have you found your new religion?
I liked it, but I'm just curious on how the final is going to look because Danny is going to the final, Anton is going to the final, Erik Saade will go to the final, but like, was Anton not a dancer of Erik Saade, his tour or video clips? Like, that will be interesting. I'm looking forward to see how all that develops. I even lost my words now. But just, I'm throwing the ball in there. Just like, what will happen? Who will win? Which cute boy will represent Sweden this year?
I don't know, but I'm assuming they're going to have your full unequivocal support there, Alina.
I'm just saying, Team Erik Saade for life, you know. Even though Sweden gave Belgium 3 points in 2010. I mean, I didn't forget.
You're not bitter. I can get this. You're not bitter at all.
I think Alina wants to move to Sweden due to all the boys.
I have a boyfriend, so I can't anymore.
Well, keep your options open.
No, I'm too happy.
Now, I'm noticing the message in the chat room. Little John thinks Gustav needs a final say on this. Gustav, have we converted you?
No, it's bad. It's boring. It's been done before. It's bad.
Oh, and that's why we love you.
Can I get that line and there's like a cushion or something, please, Gustav? It's boring. It's been done before, like 3 times in a row.
Oh, Elliot, what are the chat rooms saying about Dotter? What are the chat rooms saying about Anton?
It's so much like us. Like, it's very split. Let's start with Anton. David is saying it was underwhelming. Stuart is saying it wasn't the best tonight. If you close your eyes and stop drooling, I feel seen. Little John says Dotter sings a higher percentage of the song than Anton. Yeah, let's scroll up to Dotter. Here we are. So Little John says Dotter had the best music production values of the night. Donna is saying she was disappointed and she wasn't even a fan of Bulletproof. Jenna is saying, don't like Dotter's song. There's nothing special about the song. It's forgettable. And Donna also did put, though, the staging is great, but it didn't feel like it matched the song that she was singing. But very much like us, it is very divided, especially with Dot. It seems a song you really seem to grab and enjoy, or you don't. And same with Anton. So it's going to make the final very interesting from an international perspective as well, which makes the jury vote very interesting, I think.
Hey, and you're right. I think the variety for the final is already looking really, really good. Now, guys, you've got about a minute to vote in tonight's poll. Menti.com 18 38 29 2. Let us know who you think should have got through to the final last night. In the meantime, I'm going to ask my panel if it was purely down to them, if we were in some great world where you could pick the two songs that went through to the final, who would you have picked? Do you agree with the selections, or would you have gone for something else? Let's start off with Oban.
I have definitely my top two would be from last night. Eva, Rama Ding Dong is the clear by mile winner of the whole Eurovision season, get along the semi-final too. And my second direct qualified would be definitely Patrik Jean, Tears Run Dry. It was phenomenal. I don't think I get to talk about it, but I loved it as well. Yeah.
Okay, moving on to Alina.
Yes. My picks would have been Anton. I mean, of course. And shoot, I forgot his name again. Patrik Jean Patrik. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Steve.
Dotter by a country mile, followed by Anton.
Okay, I've just realised I should actually be making some notes on these. So Steve reckons Dotter and Anton. We've had Alina go for Patrik and Anton. We've had Oban go for Rama Ding Dong and Patrik. Gustav, how are you going to alter that voting?
Patrik and Sami, WAHL featuring Sami.
Okay, Jeanette.
Well, I agree with Steve. It's going to be Dotter as number one for me and Anton as number two.
Okay. Elliot.
Anton as the winner, and then Rama Ding Dong as the second qualifier, because I need some camp fun in the final. The only thing that would have made it better if they had a wine glass in their hand dancing. That's the only thing it was missing.
Okay, and I these words seem really difficult sometimes, but I agree with Elliot. Yes, okay, I will say it louder for you. I agree with Elliot. So our panel think the two qualifiers last night should have been all interesting, Anton and either Rama Ding Dong or Patrik. So Anton got 5 votes from the panel, Rama Ding Dong and Patrik got 3 votes each. What did you guys think at home? Let's take a look at this. We are going to close the voting, and the results are, drum roll please. Hey, I can hear a drum roll. Ta-da! Oh!
Hey! Dotter!
How interesting. So we can see Dotter wins with 216, but in actual fact, you've voted tonight that Eva and Eva with Rama Ding Dong should have snuck in for that other direct to final position, 198 points, just above Anton with 178. Then we've got Patrik Jean, 160, and then right down the bottom, big gaps to Frida Green, 126, The Silence, WAHL feat Sami, 122, and then Julia Alfrida, 118. Oh, congratulations to Dotter, Eva and Eva. Oh, Stuart, I'm just saying to you, you know, I can't help but feel just bring it on. Bring it on. Now,
If we
guys,
did that at every show, we'd have no panelists left.
Exactly.
I
Go
have
on.
a question. If UK would send the Ding Dong song to Eurovision, what would you think then?
Oh,
I
I
think it'd be well, but I'd enjoy
Good
it.
on you.
fully in line with expectations. That said,
Would
someone
you be
asked,
happy about it? Would you be happy
Yeah.
about it?
why not? Let's
We
face
love a
it,
Nana having fun.
we've sent far worse Electro Velvet, for example.
I mean, as Cyprus, you know that we all about the showgirls, and having two of them on one stage, we would be so proud of them.
Now, and I have
Shocking.
to say, the UK can't afford to be cheesy. I mean, we'd lap it up, although I did once get asked about the Russian grannies. I did suggest that if the UK had sent them, they certainly wouldn't have come second. Now, Elliot, you've got an exciting engagement tomorrow morning.
Yes, tomorrow morning, myself, Ian, and Donna will be talking to the Cosmic Twins, who are competing in Dance Melody Grand Prix with their song Silver Bullet. We are speaking to them tomorrow morning, and that should hopefully be up later in the evening or not on Tuesday. But yes, we're going to be taking a short little hop from Sweden to Denmark. So I hope you look forward to that coming in the next few days.
Hey, which also means any questions, contact on the Facebook page, and also I do believe Elliot's put something up on the Insta story as well, so you can check us out on all the social media. Now, guys, we are sadly at the end of another Melfest review. Can I say a massive thanks to my panel? Big thanks to Oben.
Thank you, guys. Have a nice evening, and see you next week.
A big thanks to Alina.
Okay, wait, I'm gonna try something. Hey do, god kwel, yeah, something else. that was what I remember from my Swedish lessons.
Hey, big thanks to Steve.
See ya.
Big thanks to Gustav.
Bye, guys. Hopefully next week, one of my favorites will have qualified.
Hey, big thanks to Jeanette.
Bye, guys. Thank you for tonight, and see you in a week's time.
And a big thanks to my co-host for the evening, the lovely Elliot.
Big thank you, guys. It's been great fun just picking fights with you all, but mostly Gustav, as always. And a big thank you to our host, Tom, for somehow controlling the ship.
Hey, well, I do try. Now, guys, don't forget to continue the conversation on our social media channels. We're there on Facebook. Also, the video's going up on YouTube, so don't forget to like it. And whilst you're there, do please subscribe as well. We're back on Wednesday night looking at the entries in this year's Festival de Canção. That's Portugal. That's at 9 o'clock Central European time. And then we're back with the MGP final review Friday, 9 p.m. Central European time, and the review on Saturday, and then obviously back here as usual on Sunday for the review of semi-final 3, which, tiny bit excited, features Charlotte Pirelli. Have a great week, guys, and we will see you soon. Keep the conversation going, and it's bye for now.
Bye.